Hey guys, Chris Coronado, Racing Realtor 201. Thanks for tuning in to our YouTube channel. We're going to be discussing a couple of different things as we go through the channel. Today's topic is going to be warranties. I'm on my way right now to Status Motoring. It's my preferred vendor when it comes to some of the modifications I've done to the car, a few of the exterior pieces to the car. We're actually going to be looking at some exhaust systems. They're actually a phenomenal custom shop. They've got a ton of add-on parts that they've been looking at for my car, for the Corvette. At the end of the day, you'll see the showroom. You'll understand what kind of cars they work on, what they do. It's not specifically a race shop, but at the same point, the mechanics that are there are very passionate about what they do, and the owner, Joel, is extremely passionate about what he does. Test drives every single car before they release it back to you. That's an enormous thing, even if they're just doing a tire change for me, or a brake change, or anything like that. In regards to warranties, I am not so happy with Michelin's new product, the PS4, which has been out since March or April of this year, 2017. They are slowly but surely phasing out the Super Sports, which the Corvette comes with standard on the Z51 package, which is the car that I have. The Super Sports have been unbelievable for me thus far. I've gone through a couple of sets of them this year. I've had a lot of track time this year. Be that as it may, they always perform exactly how I want to. For those of you who don't know, I'm going through HPDE with quite a few different organizations, NASA, Northeast being one of the main ones that I started with and continue to work on and work with, and the New Jersey Motor Park Sports, or Motor Sport Park, NJMP, as some of you may know it. NJMP, which is down south Millville. I'm a Drivers Club member there, so I do a lot of track time with those guys, and honestly, their advanced group is quite the group to be tackled with, putting down some really crazy lap times and some really impressive drivers. With that being said, the switch over to the PS4s happened early October 10th to be exact. I have receipts for it, and the reason you kind of keep these things around is for warranties. I switched over to the PS4s. Everyone's been ranting and raving about these, and look, maybe it's a bad batch, maybe it's something that they didn't necessarily calculate, but I'm doing high performance driving education. What that means is that I'm not going wheel to wheel, I'm not racing other cars, I'm not overly aggressively pushing the car to its maximum limitations. Look, this car can certainly perform more than what the talent that I have that can go into it. Unfortunately, the tires that I just got, the PS4s, again, a month or so ago, probably by the time this video releases, maybe a couple of months ago, but the idea with these tires is that they're track ready and they are street ready. So on the street, they should be able to perform. They still have tread. I'm still driving with tread on my tires. I've not gone to slicks. I've not gone to, a hybrid where it's more slick than it is tread. And let's be clear, the only reason tires have tread is to move water through, okay? Anybody who's watching this and you're not familiar with why tires have tread, or why most racers, and again, there's the break, most racers go with slicks, is that you shouldn't be concerned about water on the track. You should be going out in optimal conditions. That means a dry, nice, warm track, which makes the rubber a little bit more elastic, melts a little bit more, and you get as much surface space on the track as you possibly can through your tires. The only reason tread is there is to move water around. Since this is a daily driver as of right now, tune into the channel for more. Please subscribe and like to understand that this car may not be street by the time I'm done with it. It may not be my daily driver by the time I'm done with it. There's plans in the works. The only way to know more is to subscribe and like and share. Get as many people on this as possible so you can understand how you're going from HPDE beyond and what you're doing with your car as you go. So a lesson learned from one of my buddies, Sarth, was that I should have bought 2 sets of wheels, 2 sets of tires. I should have all these extra parts. I'm certainly not approaching this as a budget. This isn't a cheap sport, but at the end of the day, buying 2 sets of wheels and tires and brakes and all this other stuff, it adds up, especially when you're not 100% sure if you're going to even enjoy it by the time you're done. Which, by the way, anyone who says they don't enjoy this, what they're doing, because it's so much fun. Now back to the tires and the tread and all that. There is a good amount of tread on the PS4s. They should be able to move water rather aggressively. If you look at all the reviews online, which I'm sure if you're Googling now, PS4 Michelin Sport PS4s, they are reviewed as to be fantastic tires, which is why I'm not blaming Michelin, but this is why you look at your warranties. They are, however, chunking. What that means is that I've been able to cord my tires. Cording your tires is when you have burned off all the tread, a lot of the rubber, and you're down to stitching within the tire. Meaning the car that I'm driving currently has 2 tires on the left side, means I made a lot of right turns at the tracks that I go to, and a lot of the rubber has just chunked off, and I had to end Drivers Club's days and NASA days because of this. I had to get off the track because of this. Not excited about that. I lost some time on the track, I lost a little money, and it's really only because the tires didn't perform well after 2 track days. The Super Sports, which I'm going to be going back to, they've already got them ordered. They're going to be in the shop. I'm going there just so they can dismount, change the tires, align, balance, do all that, get me back on the road, because I have a track weekend coming up, and it's probably the last track weekend I have for the year, unless the weather for some reason gets warmer, which who knows anymore. At the end of the day, the phone call I had with Michelin, which I didn't record unfortunately, was a very lengthy phone call, specifically since they're asking me a lot of questions, because I mentioned I track the car. When it comes to warranties, there's no reason not to be honest. If these tires were marketed and have lap times thrown on them, what their test car was, I don't know. But if they're marked and they have lap times and they have all this other stuff, great. You know what? They should work for the track just like the Super Sports did. And frankly, they're being urged to be put on the Chevrolet Corvette, which is what I have. What are you doing with a Corvette? If you're a garage person and you like to have it there and you want to stare at it, look pretty, and have the right equipment on it, awesome. Throw the Super Sports PS4s, whatever you want on it. If you're going to the track, you have to make sure that you know what the capabilities of those tires are. Like I said, I'm not pushing the tires to the brink. I'm not pushing the car to the brink. Again, this is a lot of car for anybody to handle. With that being said, for them to chunk after 2 days, and let me be very specific about those 2 days, they were at NJMP, they were at Thunderbolt. I definitely laid down some great times, but at the end of the day, these aren't mind-blowing, traction control ruining, hitting a wall kind of times. These tires should easily be able to maintain 2 track days. The Super Sports I've had lasted me for somewhere around 10 to 12. Some of the sets of tires on the Super Sports, I don't even know how long I could have gotten out of them, because I had hit screws along the way. And in the racing world, when you have to replace one, you got to replace 2. 2 is 1, 1 is none, for all my racers out there. All right, guys. And there's some traffic on the highway, so we just got to Status Motoring. Going to be taking a look at my car real quick. They've got the tires in stock. What I'm complaining about, get out of the light, see if you guys can see this. This is cording a tire. All that tread is just chipping off, chunking off. This just shouldn't be happening to tires. So we're going to have brand new Super Sports on there. That's not just on the front. It is on the rear. It's a little less on the rear. And again, you know, in a Corvette, you've got a lot of the weight up front. You've got the engine, all your movements up front. Everything that you want to be doing is going to be going on up front of these cars. And until they do a mid-engine Corvette, you're going to be having a lot more weight in the front than you do in the back of the car. So there should be chunking like that. Or there will be more wear and tear like that, not chunking like that. You don't want that to happen. With that being said, you're also going to take a look. Status Motoring, what kind of cars they've got on. Mercedes, we got a Jeep, we got a BMW, got a Volkswagen painted army green. Still don't understand that completely, but to each his own, I guess. With that being said, we'll head on inside and see what they got going on in there, see if you guys can meet Joel today. All right, guys, we're in the waiting room of Status Motoring, Joel's shop. he's not here, so I don't want to be disrespectful and give you guys a full tour without him here. I think you guys should meet him and understand what he does and working on the cars and all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna hang back, chill out. Got some comfy chairs, some sofas, some coffee. Poured myself a cup. Gonna wait for him to see if he shows up. If not, I'm just gonna take my car after the tires are done. See where we go from there. Are all replaced, and in racing, when you do one, you got to do the other. So there's really no getting around it. I'm gonna be cheap and call myself out. There you go. But all 4 tires are done, balanced, aligned. We're set. We're ready to go. Time to hit the road. See what we got going on. Alright guys, I am really excited back in the car. As you can see from 2 seconds ago, brand new tires. It gives you that confidence to drive around knowing you've got brand new tires, brand new brakes. Don't let it get you overly confident when it comes to things like this. That's something that you really have to be careful of. When you have brand new tires, it takes a little bit of time. You got to warm them in, get them worn the way they need to be done, warm them up, do all that good stuff. I'm just driving on the street right now, gonna head home. Got a few things I have to figure out with my real estate business now. I got a few clients that I have to follow up with. And honestly, while I was in doing all my good stuff with my tires, I was able to communicate with quite a few different clients, so I was happy about that. And it's nice to just have a good 20 minutes surrounded by car people while you're working. So again, hence Racing Realtor 201. Big shout out. I was in and out of there very quickly thanks to Joel and his staff. Joel was out for a couple of meetings. I'm sure he's got some fun projects coming his way at his new location right here in New Jersey. Got him right in South Hackensack on US 46. Moved locations on me. It's okay. Still love you. But it's a little bit further from my home. These guys were like 5-6 blocks away from my house. Loved every second of it. But you know what? I love driving my Corvette. So it's all right to go a little bit further distance to get the work done that you want to get done. So again, a lot of your modifications, anything you really want to throw in your car that's a bolt-on, go see Joel. And Status Motoring, South Hackensack, right on US Highway 46. Great work, always stands by it. He's figuring out my warranty as we speak on the tires. I had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. Really excited to see if Michelin comes to the table with what I think they're going to come with, which should be a full replacement of the tires, including the service in order to install the tires. Nobody should be eating that. People need to be paid across the board. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's what has to happen when you deliver a product that's not 100%. And again, bad batch, I don't know. But Michelin PS4s, goodbye. Back to the Super Sports, which look freaking phenomenal on the car, and I'm happy to get it on the track this weekend. I've got got a busy schedule this weekend. I've got a couple of track days, going to my home track, NJMP Thunderbolt. So I've got new brakes, new tires, ready to rock, finish off the season strong, be able to figure out some PRs hopefully and chase those down. Just gonna have some fun. Red light. Just can't get away from it at all, ever. I think people just think I can't afford a brake job. I don't know. I can't think I can't think for other people. I can't read minds. I really wish I could. For me, internalizing this and sitting back and saying, as I move up, that is just terrible. It's awful, and it just looks like this guy, oh, look at this guy, this great sports car, can't afford to get his brakes fixed. No, these will stop on a dime. Like, legitimately, I've done it. I've put dimes in the road. Maybe I'll video that. Understand a little bit more about what race brakes and the difference are. And honestly, the Corvette system and the braking system, not to brag, that's probably one of their, beyond the delivery of power that you get. And look, I could talk about the transmission and how my gear changing, you kind of got to work on, but their braking system, phenomenal. Really is phenomenal. This thing, even without race brakes, performed at a level that to stop a car like this, moving as fast as it can, and to do what it needs to do on front straights, which you'll see some videos on that. I, of course, PDR record almost everything I do on the track. So I'll be able to upload a few of those things so you can understand what the braking system looks like. But when it sounds like this, immediate judgment. Before knowing what race brakes sound like, I would judge. I'd judge. I'm judging myself, which is why I think everybody else is judging me. Just thinking I'm too cheap to get a brake job. Far from the truth. Stop on a dime. So make sure you check your warranties on your tires. It's really something that you should be very, especially if you're tracking it or if you're doing something a little over the top with your car. If it says track, says lap times, does all that with the tires, they're track tires. They're not slicks, they're not, you know, whatever. I'm gonna get a lot of flack on, you should go to Slicks, you know, Hoosier, all these other brands that are out there, and Toyos. You know, I posted up a couple of pictures of this on my Instagram and Facebook. Everybody just went nuts. So I get it. I'm gonna be doing a different wheel and tire setup very soon over the winter. This is my first year tracking the car, so really just had to see what the car can do, see if I enjoyed it before I just start shoveling money into this sport. And at the same point, I've burned through a lot of things with this sport, so you kind of take what you can get. You learn from your mistakes. Till next time, if this is your first time coming on, please subscribe, like, share the video, do all that. I've got a whole bunch of content coming up onto this as I go, and it's going to revolve around the car, it's going to revolve around real estate. I've got some great interviews lined up over the next week or two with some amazing people. I'm going to be releasing those videos as I edit them and go through which ones I think are relevant for the time. And everyone should be having a good time with this channel. So thank you very much. Like I said, like, subscribe, share. I want as many subscribers as I can get so I can preach about my cars, Corvettes, racing, track racing specifically, and real estate. It's just two passions I've got that I think moving quickly through real estate is ever so important. Thanks for tuning in, guys.